There is a battle for your mind, and it is being lost in the first 5 minutes of your day. This isn't a dramatic statement, it's a clinical observation of the modern condition. You believe you are starting your day. In reality, you are allowing your day to be hijacked before you are even fully conscious. You are surrendering your most valuable assets, your focus, your tranquility, and your power of intention to an invisible enemy. And the weapon you are using against yourself is likely within arm's reach right now. In this discussion, we are not going to talk about morning routines. We are going to deconstruct a fundamental error in thinking, an error that 99% of men make without a second thought, and we will replace it with a Stoic framework, a mental operating system designed for resilience, clarity, and control. What I'm about to share is the key to owning your day instead of being owned by it. A small number of you will understand this on a deep level. Let me know in the comments, what is the very first thing you currently reach for when you wake up? The problem is the illusion of connection, the myth of getting ahead. From the moment your alarm rings, likely from your smartphone, you are conditioned to do one thing: reach for the device. You tell yourself you're just checking the time, or the weather, or perhaps a single important email, but you and I both know that's a lie. It's a negotiation you have with yourself, and you always lose. What you are actually doing is plugging your mind directly into the global consciousness of anxiety, outrage, and obligation. You are inviting thousands of voices, opinions, and demands into your head before you've had a chance to hear your own. This is not an accident. This digital ecosystem is designed for this exact purpose: to capture your attention, to make you reactive, to make you a consumer of information, not a commander of your own thoughts. The Stoics understood that our inner world, our inner citadel, is the only thing we truly control. Yet we voluntarily give the keys away the moment we open our eyes. This is the modern battlefield. 1. The neurological hijack. Let's begin with the brain. When you reach for your phone first thing, you are not seeking information. You are seeking a dopamine hit. A small, pleasurable reward, a notification, a like, an email. Each one is a microdose of a highly addictive neurochemical. You are, quite literally, training your brain to need external validation to feel good from the very first seconds of your day. This sets up a neurological pattern of craving and dependency that will follow you until you go to sleep. A Stoic seeks tranquility, a state of mind not dependent on external events. By starting your day with a dopamine chase, you are starting on the opposite end of the spectrum, a state of neurological neediness. 2. The cortisol flood. Beyond the dopamine chase, there is a more insidious effect: the flood of cortisol, the stress hormone. You open an email from your boss, you see a negative news headline, you read a comment that provokes you. Instantly, your body's fight or flight system's activated. Your heart rate increases, your anxiety levels rise. You are physically preparing for a threat that doesn't exist. You have moved from a state of rest into a state of stress in less than 30 seconds. This isn't just a bad mood. It's a physiological state that degrades your decision-making, cripples your creativity, and drains your energy before you've even had a sip of water. You're starting your day in defense mode, not command mode. 3. The surrender of the locus of control. This is a crucial psychological concept. Your locus of control is either internal or external. An internal locus means you believe you're in control of your own life. An external locus means you believe your life is controlled by outside forces. When the first thing you do is consume other people's information, you are immediately shifting your locus of control to external. Their priorities become your priorities. Their emergencies become your emergencies. Their narratives frame your reality. You become a passenger in your own morning. A man with a strong internal locus of control, a Stoic ideal, understands that his domain is his own mind and his own choices. He does not surrender that territory. 4. The agenda of others. Consider the content you consume in those first 5 minutes. Emails are a to-do list written by other people. Social media is a highlight reel of other people's lives, designed to make you feel inadequate or envious. The news is a catalogue of events you cannot control, curated to generate an emotional response. In every case, you are allowing the agenda of another person or another corporation to become the first input into your brain. The Stoic asks, is this within my control? The answer, for 99% of what you see on that screen, is a resounding no. You are filling your mind with noise, not signal. You are reacting to their world, not creating your own. 5. The myth of catching up. There is a pervasive anxiety that if you don't check in immediately, you will fall behind. This is a fallacy. Nothing that requires your immediate rational attention will be lost in the first 30 minutes of your day. This feeling of urgency is manufactured. It is a symptom of a culture that mistakes activity for achievement. True productivity does not come from frantic reactivity. It comes from deep, focused, intentional work. By jumping into the stream of information, you are not catching up. You are fragmenting your attention. You are guaranteeing that the rest of your day will be a series of shallow, distracted tasks because you started it that way. 6. The loss of self-awareness. The morning is a sacred time for introspection. It's the moment when your mind is clearest, transitioning from the subconscious world of sleep to the conscious world of action. It's the ideal time to check in with yourself. How do you feel? What is your primary goal for the day? What potential challenges lie ahead? By immediately directing your attention outward, you forfeit this opportunity. You skip the most important meeting of the day, the one with yourself. The Stoics practiced self-examination relentlessly. They understood that an unexamined life is not worth living. Your first 5 minutes are the prime opportunity for this examination, and it is being squandered. 7. Framing the narrative. The first piece of information you consume frames the narrative for the rest of your day. If it's negative news, your day is framed by fear and outrage. If it's a demanding work email, your day is framed by stress. If it's an idealized social media post, your day is framed by comparison. This initial frame acts as a cognitive bias, coloring every subsequent thought, interaction, and decision. You are letting chance dictate your mental and emotional state. A man who practices Stoicism understands the power of framing. He does not let the outside world hand him a script. He writes his own, and the first scene is the most important. 8. The destruction of presence. Presence is the ability to be fully engaged in the here and now. It is the source of all great work, all meaningful connection, and all inner peace. When you start your day by scrolling, you are training your mind for distraction. You are teaching it to jump from one stimulus to another, never settling, never focusing. This habit of mind wandering doesn't stop when you put the phone down. It becomes your default state. You find it harder to listen in conversations, harder to focus on a single task, harder to simply be. The Stoics prized prososche, mindfulness or attention. It is the foundational virtue. Your morning habit is an exercise in the opposite. 9. The emotional echo. The emotions generated in those first 5 minutes do not simply vanish. They create an emotional echo that reverberates throughout your day. That small spike of irritation from a comment, that jolt of anxiety from a headline, these feelings linger in your subconscious. They lower your resilience to stress. They make you more likely to snap at a coworker or feel overwhelmed by a minor setback. You are poisoning the well from which you will have to drink all day. The goal is not to feel nothing. The goal is to choose your emotional state, to cultivate euthymia, a sense of tranquility and inner calm. This is impossible when you begin your day by mainlining chaotic, external emotions. 10. The opportunity cost. For every action, there is an opportunity cost. The 5 minutes you spend aimlessly scrolling are 5 minutes you are not doing something else, something intentional, something that strengthens you. We will discuss what that something is shortly, but for now, simply recognize the cost. It is the most valuable and irreplaceable resource you have. Time. Specifically, high-quality, clear-minded time. You are trading 5 minutes of potential strength, clarity, and purpose for 5 minutes of distraction and anxiety. Over a year, that is over 30 hours of your most potent mental energy discarded. It is a terrible bargain, and one that most men make without a second thought. 11. The deconstruction is complete. Now you see the problem. It is not the phone itself. The phone is a tool. The problem is the habit, the unconscious, automatic ritual of surrendering your mind. It's a neurological, physiological, and philosophical failure. You are losing the battle before you even know you are fighting, but understanding the trap is the first step to disarming it. The majority of people will hear this, agree, and change nothing. A small percentage, however, recognize the profound truth in this diagnosis. They see the cage they have been living in, and they are ready for the key. This is where the work begins. This is where we move from the problem to the Stoic solution. 12. The Stoic alternative, the sanctity of the mind. The core principle we will now build upon is this. Your mind is a fortress, an inner citadel. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed this was the only space in the universe where you have absolute sovereignty. The first 5 minutes of your day should be dedicated to securing the gates of that fortress, not to throwing them open for invaders. The Stoic fix is not a complex 10-step routine. It is a simple, profound shift in priority. The priority is internal alignment before external engagement. It is about choosing to be the cause, not the effect. This is the foundational mindset. Everything else flows from this. 13. The first principle of action, the dichotomy of control. The very first Stoic thought to bring to mind upon waking is Epictetus's core teaching. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Your phone, in those first moments, represents everything that is not within your power. The news, other people's opinions, market fluctuations. What is in your power? Your thoughts, your judgments, your intentions for the day. The Stoics' first act is to consciously separate these two categories. The first 5 minutes are a silent meditation on this principle. You physically refrain from touching the external world, the phone, to mentally reinforce your commitment to mastering your internal world. 14. The practical application. Intentional silence. So, what do you do instead of grabbing the phone? Nothing. For the first minute, simply lie or sit in silence. This is not empty time. This is the most productive minute of your day. In this silence, you are allowing your brain to come online without interference. You are observing your own thoughts. You are feeling your own body. You are becoming aware of your own state of being. This act of intentional stillness is a radical rebellion against the modern world's demand for constant stimulation. It is you, reclaiming your own consciousness. It feels uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is the feeling of an addiction being broken. 15. The second principle, premeditatio malorum. This translates to the premeditation of evils. It sounds negative, but it's one of the most powerful Stoic tools for resilience. In the second and third minute of your morning, you briefly and calmly contemplate the potential challenges of the day ahead. A difficult meeting, a frustrating commute, a personal conflict. You don't wallow in anxiety. You simply visualize these events and remind yourself, I have the internal resources to handle this. The event itself is external. My response is mine. This practice inoculates you against the shock and stress of the day. You have already faced your challenges in your mind, on your own terms. You are prepared. 16. A modern example of premeditation. Imagine you have a critical presentation at work. The reactive man wakes up, checks his email, and sees a message that a key stakeholder will be attending. Panic sets in. The Stoic man, in his first 5 minutes, has already considered this possibility. He thought, what if someone important shows up unexpectedly? What if the projector fails? He has already accepted these possibilities. He has reminded himself that he can only control his preparation and his delivery, not the technology or the audience. When the event actually happens, he is not surprised or flustered. He is calm. He has already rehearsed this in the tranquility of his own mind. 17. The third principle, defining your intention. The fourth minute is for defining your ruling faculty for the day. Marcus Aurelius spoke of this constantly. It's about setting a single guiding principle. It's not a to-do list. It's a to-be list. For example, your intention might be, today I will be patient, or today I will focus on what is essential, or today I will act with courage. You choose one virtue, one theme that will guide your actions. This becomes your compass. When you face a difficult choice later in the day, you don't have to rely on willpower alone. You simply ask, what would a patient man do here? Your morning intention provides the answer. 18. The power of a single word. Your intention doesn't have to be a full sentence. It can be a single word. Equanimity, discipline, focus, virtue. Choose one word and let it be the lens through which you view the day. This is an incredibly powerful focusing tool. When the world tries to pull you in 1,000 different directions, you have an anchor, your word. It simplifies complexity. It reminds you of your commitment to yourself. The man who starts his day by consuming 1,000 words from others is scattered. The man who starts his day by choosing one word of his own is centered. 19. The final principle, memento mori and amor fati. The fifth and final minute is a dual-purpose reflection. First, memento mori, remember you will die. This is not morbid. It is a tool for radical prioritization. It strips away the trivial. Knowing your time is finite, what truly matters today. This thought clarifies your purpose. Second, amor fati, a love of fate. This is the practice of accepting and even embracing everything that happens. You resolve, in this final minute, to not just tolerate the day, but to welcome it. Whatever it brings, success, failure, pleasure, pain, you will see it as an opportunity to practice your virtue. You are ready. You are fortified. 20. The complete Stoic, 5 minutes. Let's summarize the protocol. Minute 1, conscious silence. Reconnect with yourself without external input. Minute 2 and 3, premeditatio malorum. Calmly anticipate the day's challenges to build resilience. Minute 4, define your intention. Choose one virtue or word to be your guide. Minute 5, memento mori and amor fati. Gain perspective and embrace the day as it comes. This entire sequence happens before your feet hit the floor, before you have a sip of coffee, and most importantly, before you touch your phone. It is a declaration of sovereignty over your own mind. 21. The contrast. Let us paint two pictures. Picture the first man. He wakes up, his screen's blue light hitting his retinas. His mind is immediately filled with the anxieties of others, the outrage of the news, the pressure of work. His cortisol is high, his focus is shattered, and his emotional state is a product of an algorithm. He starts his day as a slave to his device. Now picture the second man, the Stoic. He wakes up in silence. He fortifies his mind against future challenges. He sets a clear, virtuous intention. He accepts the day with purpose and calm. He starts his day as a king in his own inner citadel. Which man do you want to be? The choice is made in those 5 minutes. 22. The resistance you will face. This will not be easy at first. Your brain has been conditioned, perhaps for years, to crave that morning dopamine hit. The urge to grab the phone will be strong. It will feel like an itch you must scratch. You must recognize this urge for what it is, the twitching of an addiction. Do not fight it with brute force. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and let it pass. The Stoics teach us to observe our impressions without assenting to them. The urge to check your phone is just an impression. It is not a command. You are the commander. Let it be a sign that the practice is working. You are rewiring your brain. 23. The role of the environment. Make it easier on yourself. The Stoics were practical. They would advise you to control your environment to support your goals. The simplest way to do this? Do not sleep with your phone next to your bed. Put it across the room. Better yet, leave it in another room entirely. Buy a simple non-smart alarm clock. This small act of environmental design removes the temptation. It creates a physical barrier that supports your mental commitment. You are making the right choice, the easy choice. This is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strategic intelligence. 24. What about emergencies? This is a common objection. What if there's a family emergency? Let's be rational. In 99.9% of cases, a true emergency will not be communicated via email or social media notification at 5 in the morning. It will be a phone call. If you are truly concerned, you can adjust your phone settings to only allow calls from specific contacts to come through. The rest of the digital noise can wait. This is an excuse born of anxiety, not logic. Do not let a manufactured fear of a 1 in a million event rob you of a daily practice that will benefit you in all the other instances. 25. The journaling extension. For those who wish to go deeper, the Stoic 5 minutes can be extended into a journaling practice. After your silent reflection, take 5 more minutes to write. Do not just write what you are grateful for, though that has value. Use the Stoic template. 1. Write down your guiding intention for the day. 2. Write down the challenges you anticipate and how you will apply Stoic principles to them. 3. Write down a reflection on the dichotomy of control, what you will focus on, your actions, and what you will accept, the outcomes. This practice solidifies your mental work. It takes it from an abstract thought to a concrete plan. 26. The view from above. Another powerful Stoic meditation to incorporate, either in your 5 minutes or your journaling, is the view from above. Marcus Aurelius practiced this. You visualize yourself rising above your home, your city, your country, and looking down upon the earth. You see all the people rushing about, consumed by their petty dramas and anxieties. From this perspective, your own problems shrink. They become trivial. This is not to dismiss them, but to right-size them. It cultivates perspective and humility. It reminds you that your personal dramas are a tiny part of a much larger whole. This is an antidote to ego and a powerful source of tranquility. 27. This isn't about productivity. It's important to clarify the goal. While this practice will almost certainly make you more productive, that is a side effect, not the primary objective. The goal is not to cram more work into your day. The goal is to improve the quality of your day. The goal is eudaimonia, the state of human flourishing. It is about living a good life, a life of virtue, reason, and tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. A man who is relentlessly productive, but is anxious, reactive, and emotionally unstable is not flourishing. The Stoic seeks inner wealth, not just outer accomplishment. 28. The ripple effect. The state of mind you cultivate in those first 5 minutes does not stay there. It ripples outward. Because you are calm, you are a better partner. Because you are focused, you are a better professional. Because you are resilient, you are a better leader and a better father. You do not snap at your family over a minor issue because you have already prepared your mind for frustration. You do not get flustered in a meeting because you have centered yourself in what you can control. By mastering your inner world, you have a profoundly positive impact on the outer world. Your personal practice becomes a gift to everyone you interact with. 29. The compounding interest of discipline. On day 1, this practice might feel small, even insignificant, but like financial capital, the capital of self-discipline compounds over time. Each day you choose intention over reaction. You make a small deposit in your character. After a week, you'll notice a small difference in your mood. After a month, you'll notice a significant increase in your focus and a decrease in your anxiety. After a year, you will be a different man. Others will notice your calm demeanour, your thoughtful responses, your unflappable nature. They will call it a personality trait. You will know it is a skill you forged 5 minutes at a time. 30. What if I fail? You will. There will be mornings where you forget, mornings where you are tired and you grab the phone on autopilot. Do not despair. This is not a religion with unforgivable sins. Stoicism is a practice. When you fail, you do not flagellate yourself. You do what Marcus Aurelius advised. Get back up and go on. You simply observe the failure without judgment. You notice how that morning felt different, more chaotic, more reactive. You use it as data, as a reminder of why the practice is important. And the next morning, you begin again. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. 31. The first action, after the 5 minutes. Once your 5-minute mental fortification is complete, what is the next step? It should still be something within your control. Rehydrate your body with a glass of water. Expose your eyes to natural sunlight. Do a few simple stretches. The key is to continue the theme of internal first. You are tending to your physical vessel before you engage with the external world's demands. Notice the pattern: mind, then body, then world. This sequence creates a powerful buffer of intentionality that protects you from the chaos of the day. 32. The Stoic philosophy of attention. Your attention is your most precious currency. You have a finite amount each day. The modern world is a marketplace where thousands of entities are bidding for it. Social media companies, news outlets, marketers, they all want to buy your attention as cheaply as possible, usually for free. The Stoic understands this. He sees his attention not as something to be given away, but as something to be invested. By investing the first 5 minutes of attention in yourself, you are generating the highest possible return. You are creating the mental clarity and focus needed to wisely invest the rest of your attention throughout the day. 33. Rejecting the hustle culture. This practice is a direct rejection of the modern hustle mantra, which preaches that you should wake up and immediately start grinding. That is the mindset of a worker bee, not a philosopher king. The Stoic approach is not about doing more, but about being more. The quality of your being determines the quality of your doing. A frantic, anxious, reactive grind produces sloppy work and leads to burnout. A calm, focused, intentional effort produces excellence and is sustainable for a lifetime. True strength is not frantic energy, it is controlled, deliberate power. 34. The inner scorecard. Society trains us to live by an external scorecard. How much money do you have? What is your job title? How many followers do you have? This is a recipe for misery, because it is all outside your control. The Stoic lives by an inner scorecard. Did I act with virtue today? Did I keep my composure when tested? Did I focus on what I can control and accept what I cannot? Did I live up to my own intention? Your 5-minute morning practice is the moment you define the terms of your inner scorecard for the day. You are choosing the game you want to win, and it is a game that is always within your power. 35. The role of physical discomfort. Some Stoics, like Cato, would intentionally introduce minor physical discomforts into their lives to build resilience. Sleeping on the floor or wearing thin clothing in the cold. You can apply a micro version of this. When you wake up, instead of lying in your warm bed for your 5 minutes, perhaps you sit on the floor. The minor discomfort keeps you sharp. It is a small, voluntary hardship that makes you tougher. It is a physical reminder that you're not a creature of pure comfort and pleasure, but a rational being capable of enduring and thriving in any circumstance. 36. On gratitude. While our Stoic 5 minutes focuses on preparation and resilience, it can and should be infused with gratitude. Not a saccharine, superficial gratitude, but a deep, philosophical appreciation. As you reflect on memento mori, be grateful for the day you have been given. As you practice amor fati, be grateful for the challenges that will make you stronger. As you sit in silence, be grateful for the simple fact of your own consciousness. A Stoic gratitude is not dependent on having good things happen. It is an appreciation for existence itself, in all its complexity. This is a source of profound joy and stability. 37. The Stoic morning versus the miracle morning. Many are familiar with popular morning routine books. They often prescribe a long list of activities: affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing, and so on. While these can be valuable, they miss the fundamental point. They often become another checklist, another source of pressure. The Stoic 5 minutes is not a checklist, it is a mindset. It is the prerequisite for all other activities. It is the act of preparing the soil before you plant the seeds. You can add other practices on top of it, but without this foundational 5 minutes of mental sovereignty, you are just performing an empty ritual. 38. Dealing with a chaotic household. What if you have kids or a partner who wakes up at the same time? This is a common challenge. The Stoic answer is adaptation. Perhaps you need to wake up 10 minutes earlier to guarantee your 5 minutes of silence. Perhaps you do it in the bathroom, or you simply sit on the edge of the bed with your eyes closed, signalling to others that you are not to be disturbed. The obstacle is the way. The chaos of your household is not an excuse to abandon the practice. It is the very reason the practice is so necessary. It is your training ground for maintaining inner peace amidst external chaos. 39. The power of inaction. In our culture, action is praised above all else. Don't just sit there, do something. The Stoic often inverts this. Don't just do something, sit there. The first 5 minutes are a powerful exercise in strategic inaction. By choosing not to react, not to check, not to consume, you are performing a more powerful action than most people will perform all day. You are taking command. Remember that stillness is a form of power. A lion at rest is no less powerful than a lion on the hunt. In your morning stillness, you are gathering your strength, focusing your intent, and preparing for deliberate, effective action later. 40. The test of the day. How do you know if the practice is working? The day will tell you. When a co-worker provokes you, do you react instantly, or do you pause and respond thoughtfully? When a project fails, do you fall into despair, or do you focus on what you can learn and what you can do next? When you feel the pull of distraction, can you gently guide your focus back to the task at hand? The day is the examination. Your morning practice is the study session. Pay attention to your responses. They are the feedback that will show you the power of what you are building, one morning at a time. 41. Extending the principle. The first 5 minutes is a metaphor for the beginning of any new chapter, no matter how small. The first 5 minutes after you get home from work. The first 5 minutes before a difficult conversation. The first 5 minutes after receiving bad news. The principle is the same. Before you react, before you engage with the external, take a moment for internal alignment. Pause, breathe, reconnect with your guiding intention. Apply the dichotomy of control. This small habit learned in the morning can be deployed throughout your day, transforming every moment of potential crisis into an opportunity for virtue. 42. The enemy is autopilot. The ultimate goal is to live a more examined, intentional life. The enemy of this goal is living on autopilot. The morning phone habit is the epitome of an autopilot life. It's an unconscious script you run every day. By breaking this one script, you prove to yourself that you can break others. You start to question other unconscious habits, the way you eat, the way you consume media, the way you spend your money. Reclaiming your morning is the beachhead. From there, you can begin the campaign of reclaiming your entire life from the forces of mindless automaticity. 43. The Stoic view on technology. The Stoics were not anti-technology. If they were alive today, they would not be living in caves. They would use the tools available to them, but they would use them as a master, not as a slave. They would ask of every tool, does this serve my ultimate purpose of living a virtuous life, or does it hinder it? The smartphone is an incredibly powerful tool, but it is also a powerful agent of distraction and anxiety. The Stoic uses it on his own terms. He decides when to engage. The 5-minute practice is your daily declaration of who is the master and who is the servant. 44. The simplicity of the fix. Notice how simple this solution is. It does not require you to buy anything. It does not require you to subscribe to a service. It does not require any special equipment. The most powerful changes are often the simplest. They are not about adding more complexity to your life, but about strategic subtraction. You are subtracting the noise. You are subtracting the reactivity. You are subtracting the mental clutter. In the space that remains, clarity, purpose, and tranquility can finally emerge. The world tries to sell you complex solutions. The truth is often found in profound simplicity. 45. The trap of self-judgment. As you adopt this, be wary of a new trap, judging others. You will start to see this reactive morning behavior everywhere. In your partner, your friends, your co-workers. The temptation is to feel superior. This is an ego trap, and it is not Stoic. The Stoic path is a personal one. Your job is to focus on your own practice. You can lead by example. Your calm and centered presence will be more influential than any lecture. As Seneca said, everywhere is nowhere. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances, but no friends. The same is true of our attention. Focus on your own inner world first. 46. A note on dreams and the subconscious. The transition from sleep to wakefulness is a special state. Your mind is still connected to the world of dreams and the subconscious. It's a time of unique creativity and insight. When you immediately flood your brain with external data, you sever that connection. You lose any wisdom or ideas that may have been brewing overnight. The 5 minutes of silence honors this transitional state. It allows you to capture those fleeting, valuable insights before they are washed away by the tide of the digital world. Many great thinkers and artists understood the sanctity of this morning period for precisely this reason. 47. The long-term vision. Where does this practice lead? Imagine yourself in 1 year. In 5 years, the man who has practiced this consistently will have a mind that is sharp, resilient, and calm. He is not easily swayed by public opinion. He is not a slave to his emotions. He is the calm center in any storm. He makes better decisions in his career, his finances, and his relationships. He is, in the Stoic sense, free. He has achieved true liberty, which is not the ability to do whatever you want, but the ability to not be controlled by things outside your power, including your own compulsive habits. This is the ultimate prize. 48. The physical manifestation of a calm mind. This inner work has outer consequences. A mind constantly flooded with cortisol leads to inflammation, poor sleep, and chronic health issues. A mind that is calm and ordered promotes physical well-being. You will find you sleep better. Your posture might improve as you hold less tension in your shoulders. Your facial expression will be more relaxed. People will comment that you seem grounded. This is not New Age mysticism. It is the simple biological reality that your mental state and your physical state are inextricably linked. By healing your mind each morning, you are also healing your body. 49. Is this for everyone? No, it is not. Many people are too deeply addicted to their distractions. They are not ready or willing to do the work of self-examination. They prefer the comfort of reactivity to the responsibility of intention. And that is their choice. This path is for the few who understand that true power is not found on a screen, but in the quiet stillness of one's own mind. It is for those who are willing to trade the cheap thrill of a notification for the deep satisfaction of self-mastery. If you have watched this far, it is likely that you are one of those few. 50. The implementation. Night 1. The work for your new morning begins the night before. Tonight, before you go to sleep, make a conscious decision. Decide where your phone will be when you wake up, and decide that it will not be in your hand. Set your non-smart alarm clock. Tell yourself, tomorrow morning, the first 5 minutes are mine. This act of pre-commitment is incredibly powerful. You are making a promise to your future self. You are setting the stage for victory. Do not leave it to chance or willpower in the morning. Decide now. 51. The implementation. The moment of waking. When the alarm goes off, your first conscious thought should be simple. Resist. Resist the old habit. Swing your feet to the floor if you must. Take one deep, conscious breath. This breath is your first act of rebellion. It is the signal to your body and mind that today will be different. You are in command now. The autopilot is off. Do not negotiate. Do not rationalize. Simply breathe and begin your 5 minutes. 52. The implementation, navigating the urge. In that first minute of silence, the urge will scream at you. Just a quick look. It'll only take a second. You might be missing something important. Recognize this voice. It is the voice of the addiction. Do not argue with it, simply label it. Ah, there is the urge. And then return your focus to your breath. Watch it like a cloud passing in the sky. It seems solid and powerful, but if you just watch it, it will drift away. Each time you do this, its power over you weakens. 53. The implementation, the premeditatio. As you move into minutes 2 and 3, be specific. Don't just think about challenges. Think about your first meeting, the traffic on your commute, the conversation you need to have with your partner. See it in your mind's eye. See yourself navigating it with calm and reason. See yourself not getting emotionally hooked. This is a flight simulator for your day. The more you practice in the simulator, the better you will perform in the real world. 54. The implementation, choosing your word. For minute 4, have a few intentions or words ready. You can even write a list and keep it by your bed. Patience, discipline, focus, courage, kindness, objectivity. Choose the one you need most for the day ahead. Say it to yourself, silently or out loud. Feel its meaning. Let it settle into your being. This word is your shield and your sword for the day. 55. The implementation, perspective. In the final minute, as you contemplate memento mori and amor fati, truly try to feel the perspective. Feel the preciousness of the day. Feel a sense of openness to whatever it may bring. This is not passive resignation. It is active, joyful acceptance. It is the mindset of a warrior who loves the battle, not just the victory. You are saying to the universe, bring it on. I am ready, and I will use whatever you send me as fuel for my own growth. 56. What if my mind wanders? It will. That is what minds do. The practice is not to have a perfectly silent mind. The practice is to notice when your mind has wandered and gently, without judgment, bring it back. Each time you bring it back, you are strengthening your attentional muscle. A wandering mind is not a failure. It is an opportunity to practice. Do not get frustrated. Simply begin again, and again, and again. This is the work. 57. The first 30 days. Commit to this practice for 30 consecutive days. Treat it as an experiment, a 30-day challenge. Mark it on your calendar. At the end of the 30 days, evaluate. How has your stress level changed? Your focus? Your relationships? The data from your own life will be more convincing than any argument I can make. Give yourself this gift, the gift of a 30-day experiment in mental sovereignty. I suspect you will not want to go back. 58. The Stoic Challenge. This is more than a life hack. This is a philosophical commitment. It is a declaration that you value your inner state more than external validation. It is a challenge to the assumptions of our entire culture. To undertake this practice is to join a lineage of thinkers and leaders who understood that the mastery of the self is the beginning of all wisdom and the foundation of a good life. It is not the easy path. It is the path of strength, honor, and freedom. 59. From 5 minutes to a way of life. This practice is the gateway. It is the training ground. As you master your first 5 minutes, you will find the principles, the dichotomy of control, the power of intention, the acceptance of fate, begin to permeate your entire day. You will start to pause before you speak. You will begin to question your emotional reactions. You will seek perspective in moments of crisis. The first 5 minutes are the seed from which a life of Stoic virtue can grow. 60. The choice is yours. You now understand the problem and you have been given a solution. A simple, powerful and timeless framework for reclaiming your mind. The information is no longer the issue. The only remaining variable is your choice. The vast majority of people will continue to live in reactive servitude to their devices and their impulses. But a few will choose a different path, a path of discipline, reason, and inner freedom. The first 5 minutes of tomorrow morning will be your first test. It is the moment you decide who is in control, you or the algorithm. So, we come to the end. But for you, this is the beginning. The critical insight is this: the battle for your day, for your focus, for your very freedom of mind is won or lost in the 300 seconds after you wake up. You concede that ground unconsciously, as most do, and spend the rest of the day as a puppet of external forces. Or you can claim it. You can fortify your mind, set your intention, and walk into the day like a commander, not a foot soldier. This is the Stoic fix. It isn't about more productivity. It's about more power, real power, the internal power that no one can ever take from you. Thank you for investing your time and your attention here. It shows you are part of the small minority who are serious about this work. If this resonated with you, subscribe to join this community. Now I have one final question. Based on what you have learned, what is the one word you will choose as your intention for tomorrow morning? Declare it in the comments below. Make the commitment. The work starts now.